So sometimes people be asking me, like, what are the steps that you go about to unschool your child or homeschool them? They be like, is that even legal? How does that work? So first of all, the only way that it would be illegal for you to be in control of your children's education is if the state actually owns rights, or the government actually owns the rights to your child. And the government actually owns the right to your children if your children have a birth certificate or a social security card. And if they do, then you have to go through this long process of more or less like becoming sovereign, separating yourself from the state or the government so that you own your child as it's naturally right, because it's your creation, it comes from you. And if you don't, but if you do have a birth certificate or a social, then it would probably be safest for you to follow your state's guidelines, or even move to states where they have less guidelines on how you choose to educate your children. I know Texas is one of those free states where you can homeschool. You don't really have to check in with them. You don't have to really do no paperwork. I believe Georgia is one of those, because I watched a friend of mine pull her 8-year-old out of school without any worry or hassle at all. But states like New York, Virginia, even North Carolina have rules and regulations on those. I don't know all the rules and regulations for each state, so you would have to look that up. and once you get through that part and you figure out what you're going to do and how you're going to school your child, the next thing to do, basically what I did was I created the curriculum from scratch. I teach pretty much everything except for, I love you too, except for like physical education and extracurricular activities, but I pretty much would look up what is it that they are supposed to know for their age range, or I'll look up like first grade curriculum, kindergarten curriculum, and I'll make sure that he knows all those things, plus whatever else. I also pay attention to what he knows and what he doesn't know, so that I write those down so that I remember he needs a lesson on telling the time, or he needs a lesson on geography, you know what I'm saying? And that's just pretty much how I go about it. I make everything from scratch, and I pretty much do everything myself. You might want to outsource even for teaching, you know, if you're not so good or even so patient as to be able to teach, because it's a lot. What you want to say?
And have a good day, guys.
Well,
it's gonna end.